Now you are. Now you are.
You can see Ghillie Dhu?
It's the internet being a pain again, too.
You got your phone with you?
My phone does not have enough charge to do anything.
No, never mind. Oh, here we go. We get people coming in now. All right, guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Things are going a little bit wonky over here. The internet's going up and down. We had to restart the stream. Hopefully you're able to hear me. Can you give me an indication if you can hear me or not? You can hear you fine. Thank you, Scott. All right. So let me see if I can get my camera. I'm just doing this on my phone, so give me just a second here. All right, so we might just have to, I just might have to hold this in my hand again. That's okay. You can get a better view of the dogs this way. The mic was covered. Yeah. Oh, I'm still learning about all this stuff. So this, oh, you're going to have to turn me down on the over there. Oh, I love technology. This is so much fun. All right. So this is Ghillie Dhu. He is all tired out today from playing in daycare. Oh, come on. Playing in daycare. So, yeah, much better. Thank you. Yeah, cute sleeping dogs. Yay. Okay. All right. So I don't have it. Oh, I have a very small little chat. Okay. I have a small little chat. I don't have it on my TV anymore. So again, we wanted to come on today and celebrate Ghillie Dhu. He is 6 months seizure free. This is the longest stretch of seizure free days that we've had. So is of course cause for celebration. We think that it's because we had to add a new medication. So it seems like ever since we added the new medication, he actually only had 1 seizure episode after adding a new medication. And so since that last episode, it's now been 6 months. So we will see Ghillie Dhu's neurologist in September. And when we see him, we will talk about the possibility of starting to reduce some of his medication, because Ghillie Dhu takes a lot of medicine. Oh, hi Drizzle. Hey, it's just some Drizzle time. Hi Drizzle. Very good. You want your toy? Did you come to get your toy? Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Or are you gonna lay down? Don't lay down on top of Ghillie. Oh yeah, this is typical Drizzle Ghillie interaction. Ghillie is laying here nicely, and of course Drizzle wants to be where Ghillie is. And well, anyway. So does anybody have any questions about Ghillie Dhu in general or about epilepsy? I can tell you the story of how Ghillie Dhu, we found out that Ghillie Dhu was epileptic. Jim Johnson says, how does that work? Is seizure inevitable no matter what? Yes, Jim. I've been told that even on medication, the neurologist said that if we could get him down to about a seizure every other month, he would consider that control. So the fact that we are now 6 months seizure free, he will never be free of epilepsy, but we seem to have it under control for the moment, even more than what he had originally anticipated. We do know of some other dogs, some other huskies even, that, once they found the right combination of medicines, were seizure free for years and years. I know some other people that have dogs who, if they go 10, 12 days without a seizure, that's good for them. So let's see. How did we get Ghillie Dhu's name? Okay, Zulu Crafter, I'll come right back to that. Wilton, can I go back here? Wilton says, I have epilepsy, but my medication stops the seizures, luckily. Yeah, that's where we're at with Ghillie. Thankfully his medication is controlling it. No, Jim, there is no cure for epilepsy. It's something he will have his entire life. We're hoping that as he gets older, he'll just need some tweaks to his medication. So we're hoping that we found the right combo, but he will always have the possibility of having a seizure. We don't have any specific triggers other than him overheating that we know of for sure. There's the old man. But So it's kind of hard. The only thing that we know for sure is that Ghillie Dhu's seizures are always very, very early in the morning. He's had them as early as 3:45 in the morning, waking us up from sleeping. He's had them as late as 11 o'clock in the morning. The only time he had one after 12 p.m. was the one time that he got overheated and he had one in the evening. And so we know that for sure that was the trigger. But as far as other triggers are concerned, we don't know for sure. We're just kind of, we try not to take it for granted. That he's able to do a lot of things. A lot of people have certain types of things that are triggers. We never try to take it for granted. We don't know exactly for sure what causes him to go. So we're just happy that for the moment they're under control. So to go back to Zulu Crafter, Ghillie Dhu got his name because we had a friend of ours pass away just a few days before he came home to us. And when we were at her funeral service, one of the readings for the service talked about the Tree of Life. So we decided that we wanted to name Ghillie Tree of Life. So his sorry, whoever is texting me. I am doing this from my phone, so I can't answer you at the moment. We decided that, so Ghillie Dhu's long fancy name is Yukon Winds Tree of Life, and a Ghillie Dhu is a Scottish woodland spirit. So we kind of thought that kind of fit for going along with his long fancy name of Tree of Life.
And Melissa didn't want to get Drizzle.
And as Syberhuskie says, yeah, I cannot pronounce Yggdrasil very well, very quickly, and we decided that, that was not going to be a good name for him. So let me see if I can.
Different from human epilepsy?
Is it different from human epilepsy? Yes and no. It is because he cannot physically tell me when he's going to be having one. I know. Hey, Drizzle. I know a lot of times with humans, they can kind of sense that something's coming. They have like an aura that they see, or their behavior changes. They just can kind of know. With dogs, because they can't speak, he can't tell me if a seizure is coming. I just have to kind of try to base it on his behavior, but not all of his behaviors that he has before a seizure always happen before every seizure. So while we thought for a while we had some kind of behaviors pinned down as to what his seizures, when he might be having a seizure, it's turned out that nope, he didn't. He didn't have an episode after he displayed some of that behavior. I have a hand up, so I have another question.
Yeah, but follow up for the Gaming Midnight Sun. He acts like a lot like a human afterwards. You can tell he's lost time. He's not exactly sure where he's at, and he's a bit befuddled for about 30 minutes to an hour after he finishes it. So,
you guys able to hear Syberhuskie? Okay, he gave a little explanation about what how Ghillie kind of is afterwards. He has what's called the post-ictal stage. For him, can last anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours. And so that's basically the time when he can do a lot of different things that he doesn't normally do. Ghillie's not a dog that destroys things, but when he's just had a seizure, he will get into things, try to chew things that he wouldn't normally ever try to do. He wanders around and paces. Hi, Drizzle. Hi, Drizzle. Hi, Drizzle. Did you want to be center of attention for a minute? So there's a lot of things that Ghillie does right afterwards. And from what I've read as far as humans are concerned, there is kind of a period of time afterwards where they're a little unsettled and they act a little bit different before they kind of come out of a seizure. And then Ghillie can actually be kind of different for up to a week after a seizure episode. So a lot of times during that time, his training kind of goes out the window, and I try not to ask too much of him during that time, because I know I'm not seeing the true Ghillie when we're in that time frame.
All right. The other question was, how does Drizzle react when Ghillie has a seizure?
How does Drizzle react? Hey, Drizzle. Drizzle, for the most part, leaves him alone. There was a couple of times where Drizzle will kind of walk up to him, and we're of course putting you know humanness into him when we think this, but he'll kind of approach Ghillie, kind of like sniff him, kind of like, hey, how you doing, are you all right? But for the most part, he stays out of Ghillie's way. We've kind of got a system down as to what we do. Like I said, most of his seizures now are very early in the morning. And most recently, Drizzle does no longer comes upstairs to sleep with us in the bedroom. He just has a hard time doing the stairs. So if Ghillie were to have a seizure now upstairs, Drizzle probably wouldn't even know. But as far as when he does have one, he just kind of tries to get out of the way, because Matt and I are trying to take care of Ghillie. We now have rescue meds that we need to administer, so we need to draw up a syringe so we can get the meds in his nose. There's other things that we do. Generally, I'll stand next to Ghillie wherever he's at, or kneel next to him wherever he is, and just gently put my hand on his hip or his back. I don't know if he knows that I'm there, but it helps to comfort me so that when he does come to, I'm one of the first things that he sees. And so I'm hoping that's a comfort to him. He has never tried to bite. He does not get aggressive, which I have heard there are some dogs that do that. He only sometimes urinates and he's never defecated, which is the nice and proper term for pooping. And he's never and he has only recently started urinating, but he doesn't do it every time. So like Drizzle just kind of gets out of the way. I see training. Oh, hi, Snow Dogs. Oh, hello from North Dakota. Well, I hope you're having a good trip home, Jess, and everything is going well with you, the girls, and Jamie. The Gaming Midnight Sun says you're a trainee medic. Oh, that's good to know. Well, you probably have a lot of experience with humans then.
Yep. So let's see. Nikki tells us that her dog had seizures a month before they put her down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've unfortunately heard a lot recently, of course, with Ghillie Dhu having seizures. I tend to pick up more on when people say something about seizures, and unfortunately, recently we have having seizures, and then they passed away. So if they have a seizure just shortly before they pass away, it is most likely they are not epileptic. It is some other health condition, something going on with them that's causing the seizure, and then of course they pass away from it. But yeah, it's not a fun thing to have to deal with. Thankfully, all of his have always been at home. We've never been away from home when he's had one, and he's never had one when he's been away from home. So we've been lucky in that way.
And so people understand, I don't know if Melissa said this or not, Ghillie is tired because Ghillie was at daycare today and he was playing with all his doggy friends.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he runs around. They have pools out there. He was in the pool. He is the center of attention because all the other dogs love him. So he's beat.
Yeah, Ghillie. Yeah, he's a good boy. They all seem to love him at daycare. He goes to daycare once a week, so he gets an opportunity to be out of the house. Get him a little bit of playtime with some dogs that are his similar age. So Drizzle stays home when Ghillie goes to daycare. So yeah, he's got his own little group of friends that he likes to hang with, and they all seem to love him there.
And yeah, Jim, it is because the old man is arthritic.
Yeah. Drizzle got diagnosed with some pretty severe arthritis in his back around August, September of last year. So we have to have some medication for Drizzle when he needs it. But yeah, he's not, for 14, he's moving around pretty well, but he certainly does not move around the same way that Ghillie does. Let's see. We held on Jesse when They happened not too tight, but to stop her from hitting things while happening. Yeah, Nikki, that's the one thing about having. I'm not sure how big your dog was, but with Ghillie being the size that he is, that's one of the reasons why if he's on the bed when one happens, I try to stand next to him or close to him so he doesn't fall off the bed. Because, yeah, he thankfully has never been gone down in a place where I've had to worry about him hitting his head or hitting his body or anything like that. So, it's just making sure that, when he does get up, that he's got room to get up, because he is not steady on his feet. He moves, is very almost drunk walking. So yeah. Scott, yes, we have talked with our vet about Librela. We have not yet tried it. Drizzle had some gastrointestinal problems last week. So he just finished up his course of medication yesterday. So I'm giving it a few days. So here's Husky Butt for you. Husky Butt, Husky Head. So we are giving Drizzle a few days to kind of finish processing the medication that he had for his stomach upset. And then, yeah, we want to talk to the vet about Librela. I do know some people personally who, you got your toy there, Drizzle. Drizzle's got a toy. He's going to go wandering around the house now with it. So I do know some people personally who have their dog on the Librela and want to explore that option for him. Let's see. Can I go back and? Oh yeah, Border Collie. Yeah. I have a. Actually, Drizzle's breeder also has a few Border Collies because she does a lot with in agility, the dog sport, and she had a Border Collie who had seizures, and so I've had luckily a lot of support with Drizzle's breeder, even though he's not Ghillie's breeder, and with Ghillie's breeder. Breeder also has a Australian Shepherd who has epilepsy. So I've been able to, while every dog is different and every medication regimen is different, I at least have some support from some other people that are, that I know who are going through it, in addition to some online groups that I'm involved in. So
Drizzle's name from Gaming Midnight Sun.
All right, so how did we come up with the name Drizzle? So Drizzle's long fancy name is Willoughby's Sea of Tranquility. The Sea of Tranquility is it's a crater on the moon, or it's an area. It's an area on the moon. So we were kind of trying to think of something that would go along with Sea of Tranquility, and we spent 3 days going through all sorts of different names and kind of zeroed in on weather patterns and stuff, and Drizzle just kind of seemed to hit for us. It was easy to say quickly. That's always my one of the things I say when I'm naming a dog. One of the things that I want is to be able to say the dog's name fast, quickly, and loud. So if I really have to struggle with the pronunciation, it's not going to be a good dog name. Drizzle's a couple of syllables. Ghillie Dhu is just a couple of syllables. Usually we just say Ghillie, but it's fast and easy for me to say.
Yeah, and the reason we picked Sea of Tranquility for his fancy name was his mother is Lunar Eclipse and his father was Oceans of Love. So Jim says, a quick recap of Drizzle's last big month, or big last month, or
sure.
last big month.
Yeah, Jim, I don't know if Drizzle got a hold of something in the yard, if he ate something different. It's been really warm here in our part of Michigan. I don't know if he was just not tolerating the heat very well, because Ghillie didn't get it. So I don't know if it was a bug or what, but Ghillie did not get any kind of gastrointestinal issue. So I'm not sure if Drizzle got something in the yard or if there was something else, because he doesn't really go anywhere these days. So I don't get much of an opportunity. So I'm not sure where he picked up anything from. So any new viewers that may be watching, You know he's tired. You're saying his name and he don't care. Yeah. So Drizzle and Ghillie Dhu were both recently involved in a photo contest. Oh, and the photo contest was a fundraiser for a local charity here, actually here in the city where I live. And both dogs were entered into the contest, and it was a bracket style voting. So you got to vote on your favorite dog. So there were pairings. And so it just happened to be that both dogs were kind of on opposite sides of the bracket. And all of our friends and family and internet friends and strangers, we had no idea who they were so very kind and voted for both of my dogs, to the point that the final round was against Drizzle against Ghillie Dhu. And then Drizzle ended up winning the local contest. And then Drizzle then went on to an international contest where the photographer entered him in with a whole bunch of other dogs. I think she said that there ended up being 42 dogs in the international contest. And it was a 1-day winner take all voting. And Drizzle ended up being the winner of the international contest. So what that means is that he got additional money that we were able to donate to our charity, which was the charity was First Step, their ARC program, Animals Receiving Kindness. It's a domestic violence shelter that lets you bring your dogs with you or your cats, because they had some cats there. So it's something kind of new to us, as far as something, and we always knew the building was there. We just never really knew what it was, and now we know. But Drizzle both dogs got to go to the a awards ceremony, and so we got to give like a physically big check and a large amount of money. We raised $2,520 for the charity, and one of the things that Drizzle won, this is his little trophy that we got. So we got this cute little trophy. It says he's the Ulta Cutie winner, which he is, absolutely. I was just absolutely phenomenal that a 14-year-old beat out all these other dogs. Granted, it was people voting for him, and I asked people to vote, but still. So he got this, and then the other thing that he got was he got a Yeti brand dog bowl with his name engraved on it, and that is currently outside in our backyard. We keep refilling it with water so that the dogs have water when we're outside. When the weather is nice, we've been trying to eat our dinners outside on our little patio, so the dogs have some water when we're outside.
Yeah, we also got a bunch of dog treats and dog toys and all the rest. But they do like their Yeti bowl because it's kind of insulated, so we can put ice in it and it stays cool for a bit.
There's the old man. Yep, it's getting close to our bedtime. I start work early, not as early as some people that I know, but I start work early, so I'm generally in bed around 9:30. So around this time of night, we're kind of winding down anyway, kind of getting ourselves ready to head to bed. So this is not totally unusual behavior for the dogs to be kind of down like this. Yeah, Jim, a lot of people were saying that they voted for both dogs. And I had a friend of mine that she said that she was absolutely certain that it was going to come down to the two dogs in the final round. And she was able, because you got to vote for, it was a voting once a day. And she voted once for one dog and once for the other dog, because she said, I just have to make it fair. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, Sally, tired pups. Yeah. I don't know if you were here earlier when we mentioned that. Ghillie Dhu went to doggy daycare today. So he got to run around with his doggy friends, play in the pools that they have there. Oh, good night, Tesla Man. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping in and chatting with us.
And good night to Midnight Sun.
Good night, Gaming Midnight Sun. I was glad that you could stop in and join us for a little while. All right, Pupper Boos. All right, is there anything else that anyone would be interested in hearing me talk about with Ghillie or with Drizzle? Talk about Ghillie's epilepsy or... Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Yeah, Sarah, we're just here. Today marks 6 months since Ghillie Dhu had his last seizure, so we thought it was a good time for us to jump on and do a little celebrating. Do a little bit of celebrating for the 6 months. See if you can see. Animal the Crystal. There was a question Scott had, but not sure if we saw it.
I'll look. Which
Scott? Scott Somerville.
Yeah, I know. Scott had a lot of questions.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Scott.
We've answered most of
we
them.
did? Okay, we'll try to get back. Oh, thank you, Tesla man. I go back and watch some of our content. We've got quite a bit of videos here. And I do have, I've had this channel for quite a number of years. So if you go back far enough, you can see some of our original dogs. Our first 2 dogs have videos here on this channel as well.
Let's see. Denise asked about the brown spot.
The brown spot. So that is staining from when he goes to doggy daycare. He's on like a cement floor. So it's when he spills water and stuff and then he lays on it. So Drizzle has it a little bit too. His isn't as dark as Ghillie's is. Ghillie, it you might not even be able to tell. Yeah, you can kind of tell if you look at his kind of butt hair here. He was in the pools today, so he came home wet. Oh, I love him. He makes me laugh so much. But he was in the pools today. So yeah, so when he's at daycare and they don't play all day long. One of the things I really like about this daycare is that he doesn't play all day long. There is times where he has down times where he can take a nap. They give him snacks at lunchtime and stuff like that. So when he's in his little kennel pod area, like I said, it's just a cement floor. So when he spills his water or whatever, it's just gets stained. We've talked to our groomer about trying to get the stains out, and she says short of bleaching, there's not really a whole lot we can do about it. We've tried a few times to try to change it, but it lightens up a little, but it'll never completely go away.
Okay, so I think we answered Scott's questions. If we didn't, Scott can please re-ask if you're still on. He mentioned the med for
the Librella.
He asked what the cause of the epilepsy, the seizures were. You kind of answered that.
Right, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Jim is asking what their diet is. If they're raw, yes, they are, but that may change soon. At least our provider might.
Yeah, so our dogs are raw fed. Our budget does allow us to purchase raw food for them. We purchase most of their food from a company called My Pet Carnivore down in Indiana. They used to have this really cool system where when you ordered, they would have like pickup locations. And so you would tell them what pickup location you wanted to pick up from. And you would go and meet them at that location. And so they have several different, but unfortunately COVID changed all that. So now they had to stop it, and now they just FedEx it with some dry ice in it. So yeah, our dogs get raw meat. Although this past week with Drizzle's stomach upset, I've been microwaving their food for about 30 seconds or so before I give it to them. Because semi-cooked or cooked food is supposed to be easier to digest. So our vet suggested that we try that for Drizzle to help him eat and help his tummy to feel a little bit better. I don't, and everybody can do for their dogs, what they feel is good for their dogs and what their budget allows. Like I said, our budget does allow us. It was very, very stinking. Oh, the drizzle being sick or the food? The food. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the stuff when we microwave it does get a little yeah, barnyard smelling, but you know, tripe is a special, yes. Oh yeah, fancy. Yeah. So we order most of their food, but we also do supplement with we'll get chicken necks and chicken backs and turkey necks from the local grocery store. We're close to Dearborn, which has a real high Arabic community, a real big Arabic community. So we're able to get our hands on lamb and other meats that you may not necessarily always see in some regular grocery stores. So yeah, we've got it's tripe is cow's stomach, not intestines. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's his stinky stuff. So yeah, so they do get some bones. So the mix that we get for our dogs, it's the flesh of the animal in addition to the organs and the bones all ground up together, which is why we like this particular brand. And why I'm reluctant to change from it, but we have had a little bit of issue with our provider recently. So while I don't want to change because I think their boys do really well on the food, we may have to look at something else. But we do supplement from the grocery store, and we don't always just purchase. And so we're always looking for manager specials and going to when they've got chicken quarters for 69 cents a pound, we'll go buy 40 pounds of it and stuff like that. So we do have a storage freezer in our basement where we can put all of this food. Oh, we're back. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Our internet is not always the greatest, and it does tend to go down a little bit. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys are still with us. Hi, back. Yeah. Yeah, it's if we could change providers easily, we would. The other provider that's in our area is a company that we would really, really rather not go with, so we're kind of limited. Yeah, the days of 25-cent leg quarters on 10 pounds or more is very unfortunately, yes. Yeah, so like I said, sometimes we'll get 69 cents a pound is one that we see for leg quarters or chicken wings.
The local place had them for 40 pounds for 40 pounds for $40 the other day.
40. That's still $1 a pound.
Yeah, but that's about as good as we've been getting.
Yeah, it's so.
All right, I'm down. I can't get in.
So. Oh, all right. So we might be having to stop a little earlier than we had originally thought. Our internet keeps going up and down. So does anybody have any last minute questions before we maybe end this so that before our internet goes back down? Oh, Husky Mom Bronico says, I home cook dog food, always looking for deals on meats. Yeah. Yeah. We, I do know a couple people who, home cook their, meal prep for their dogs for their week. So yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for stuff. When Matt's mom was alive, and for many of you, you do know that she did pass away earlier this year. She actually worked at a grocery store. And so we tried not to take advantage of it. But when they'd have a good special at the grocery store, she would let us know. And so she was able to sometimes get us some really good deals on things. But we never tried to take advantage of it because there wasn't necessarily a extra special discount that we would get from her. But she would be able to ask the butchers to set some stuff aside for us so we didn't have to run over there right away. But like I said, we tried not to take advantage of it. But that is not going to be possible anymore since she is no longer with us. So
also, if you have Aldi's near you, go to Aldi's early midweek, and lots of times they'll stick. They'll have stuff that's about to hit their expiration date, and they'll stick that half off price. Usually midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I find if you go right when they open, you can find a lot of deals.
Yeah, hopefully you guys were able to hear that. So Matt was saying that Aldi's on Wednesdays and Thursdays, at least in our area, that seems to be when they mark their do their markdowns, and we can sometimes get meats for 50% off. We try to stock up on different things. Jim says Meyer still has a 10-pound frozen for $9.99, but those were $4.99 on special just before the unpleasantness 4 years ago. Yeah, I know. It's crazy how the prices just keep going up and up and up. I never thought never wanted to consider myself an old person, but geez, now I'm looking at it going, I remember when I used to pay blah, blah, blah for that service or for that product. I guess that makes me an old person. I can remember when I used to get gas when I first started driving, I could get gas for 89 cents a gallon. And I know somebody else is going to say, I remember even cheaper. But yes, it's just absolutely crazy how prices keep going up and up, and salaries for folks stay the same or go down. Ghillie.
Right, we're
Ghillie Dhu.
kind of sort of back.
Kind of sort of back, yep.
Yeah.
Now they're saying the cows are getting bird flu? Oh my gosh. Oh, Husky Mom Bronico says, I just got ground beef for $1.99 a pound. You don't even want to know how many packs I bought. Oh no, I absolutely Oh no, we've been known to clear shelves. So yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, we tend to buy, well, at least for us, our freezer's filled with a quarter cow that we get from a local farm. So yeah, trust us. There's always a couple 100 pounds of meat in the basement.
Yeah. In case you didn't hear, Matt was just saying that the last few years, what we've been doing for ourselves for. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, it keeps going down over here too. I apologize, people. It's our internet. Isn't always the greatest. I apologize. But yeah, we get a quarter cow from a local farm, so we've always got some kind of meat in the freezer. So even if we can't get the dogs stuff from the grocery store, or if FedEx is late with their deliveries, we do have meat that we can always feed the boys. I'm sure you guys, but half or a quarter cow. We would like to get a pig, Jim. We're just not. We just haven't been able to find a farm yet that we can get a pig from yet. We've got a few places in mind, or that we've heard about, but we haven't actually been able to go and get a pig yet. We'd also like to do a lamb if we could.
Yeah, this is Metro Detroit is good if you want to get. There are Costco's where you can go in and get literally a whole lamb out of a freezer.
Yeah. Where we're at, you can get Alieska wants the baby goats next door. Oh yeah. Like I said earlier, we live close to Dearborn, and goat would not be something off the menu. We if we could get a hold of a goat, we would get a goat. Yeah, Jim, I know we live in an old house in an old neighborhood, and it's it's been an issue for years. All right. Oh, there's the old man again. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? I keep saying that, extending the time here, and that's okay. I don't mind talking to you guys. Yeah, Jim, we're looking right now, since Matt's mom has passed on. That's gonna allow us the opportunity to eventually move out of our house, hopefully sooner than later. And so yeah, we've definitely been looking at different farms and stuff in the area.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sarah says, come to the west side of the state. There's lots of places around me that do cows, pigs, etc. Yeah, down in Dundee, there's a farm there that supposedly does chickens and pigs and other things. We just haven't had the opportunity to get down there again to check it out and look at it, because Dundee's a good 45 minutes or so from our house currently. So it's definitely a plan. I have to plan the trip. It's not something that we can just spontaneously go, hey, let's go down to Dundee. So yeah, thank you, Jim. We appreciate that. You know, Drizzle and Ghillie Dhu do deserve to be recognized. They are some pretty awesome dogs, if you ask me.
Yeah. The thing is we are considering moving. We want to get a little more land to let these knuckleheads run. And we're trying to find... The problem is the places we like are way too far for me to drive into work 3 days a week. And I don't really want to find another job at this point in my career.
Oh. Yeah, it's meant to hog, not to move. Yeah, I know what you meant, but one of the things that we are looking at is to move. And you know, if we could move and have our own farm, and have our... I don't know if I could raise our own livestock. I don't know if I'm that country mouse.
Chickens and raising a hog and letting the butcher slaughter, I can have that happen. Cows are a lot of work, but a hog, not that much. And I have muck stalls in my life. I don't want to do it again, but I have muck stalls.
Uh-huh. Dundee is in Australia and New York for a few weeks before going back to Aussie land to hunt. Uh-huh. Yep. Actually, the dogs have had alligator before. Because one of the jerky outlet or jerky places that we like to go to down in Dundee does wild game jerky, and so we've gotten some of the alligator crocodile stuff for the dogs in the past. Really, Uncle Yukon, you think raising a hog is more work than raising a cow?
It's more consistent work. You can see where he's saying that. So.
Well, thanks, Sarah. I'm glad you could stop by for a few minutes. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're hoping that we can continue this streak. I don't know how long it'll last, and I don't know if we'll break it spectacularly or with just a little blip, but I'm always a little on guard. But yeah, it's been absolutely amazing that he's been able to go this long. Yeah, Jim, we're looking basically about an hour in any direction from where we currently live. So, because right now Matt still has to go into the office 3 days a week, and going into Allen Park from Flint would be a bit of a haul. But we'll see what happens. Oh, that's right, Uncle Yukon. You did start off here in Michigan, didn't you? Lansing, near Glen Ledge, Lake Odessa, back to Grand Zest. Yeah. Oh, good night, Scott. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. And you too, Crystal, the animal lover. I hope your hip is feeling better. I know you've been, we're struggling with that for a little while. Yeah, it's one of those things we have our dreams, we have our hopes, we have our list of what we want with the house. So it's not going to be in the next month. That's for sure. Maybe by the end of this year, maybe by this time next year. The housing prices are just kind of crazy right now. So we're trying to see what we can afford with what we want. Yeah, we've looked in Saline. We have looked down by you in Willis. We saw a couple in Tecumseh. We've actually seen a couple in Romulus, which is actually the next city over from us. But there's always, kind of that one thing is like, okay, that one's over by a quarry, or that one's over by the electrical line.
It's got high
alleyway.
tension lines going through the
Yeah,
backyard.
high tension lines going through. So there's always a little something, but you know, it's kind of fun to look. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Yeah, this is working on. Oh, good, Crystal, the animal lover. I hope that it doesn't make, you know, you're not too sore on too many days here. You know, I work in physical therapy, so I know a little bit about what you're going through. Don't buy in Sumter. The taxes are crazy. Nothing town thinks. Yeah, we've seen there's been a couple of houses where it checked off a lot of boxes, and then we looked at the property taxes and went, nope. So yeah, it's a process. You know, like I said, it's not something that's going to happen next month. We're getting ready to put our vegetable garden in for the year, so we're kind of going to be stuck until at least September because I don't want to leave my garden. So I got all sorts of vegetables to grow this year, so that'll be a lot of fun. All righty. All right. I think this is going to be the last call. Does anybody have any questions about Ghillie Dhu or drizzle or epilepsy? Anything like that you'd like to chat about for another few minutes? Otherwise, we're going to be ending this in just a couple of minutes here. Yeah, we don't have to worry about schools, Jim. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of nice. I mean, we don't want to be too far from my family. Because we do have some little ones that we'd like to see grow up, but I can't.
Right, no problem.
Oh, there. Okay.
Plus, I want chickens.
And then chickens. Oh yes, the chickens. All right, guys, our internet just dropped again, so we're going to go ahead and drop off. We want to thank you very much for joining us this evening to celebrate Ghillie Dhu's milestone of 6 months seizure free. We appreciate you guys taking the time to come and check us out, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you, cyber friends. Goodbye.